This is video number 2 in the series Keeping Up with Faith. And if you did understand the subtleties of the video number 1, then this will be much more easier to understand. Today, I want to talk about why people who have faith or are on the journey of discovering their faith go through such intense rock bottoms or such intense sorrow or depression. Why does it feel like life is constantly testing them? And this gets even more frustrating when you see people around you who are not so passionate about, say, walking this path that you're on. And it just feels like you're the only one who's going through so much, and your mind keeps playing tricks on you in the sense that just when you're about to lose it, just when you're about to give up your faith, you get a feedback, you get a validation, you get to be seen by the omnipotent. So if this is you, if you feel like having faith is extremely frustrating because you find yourself on the dark end a lot, then this video will be getting into uh, just together understanding why that happens, and I'll be sharing my insight about it. This particular phenomenon happens that people who are walking on the path of faith tend to be more miserable than the ones who are not doing the same, is because we get so focused on that one pointed goal, on that one objective of ours, that we lose sight of why we are here for, why we have chosen this path, and why at all are we exploring anything like this, something which is so abstract, so far-fetched for the world around. We lose sight of the fact that what does it actually means to walk on the path of faith. To have faith means to unlearn everything about you which was taught to you through conditioning, which was not a part of you, but it was a layer adorned on you by the world. And having faith exactly does that. So if you are miserable right now and you have been miserable for quite some time, but your faith is not wavered, and having frustration doesn't mean that your faith is wavering, by the way. It means that it's strengthening. It means that it is taking a grip in the parts where your character was weak. So, frustration is a good thing to have on the path of faith. We lose sight of the fact that having faith actually is here to purify you, to undo you, to unravel yourself. There is no great learning possible in the world unless and until you yourself begin to change within yourself. So you can read a lot of content, specifically in the world and age that we live right now in, with so much of information and knowledge blasting in our face. Anyone can actually read a PhD worthy content in a couple of months, and they can feel even smart about it. But the thing to note here is that have they integrated that learning? Uh, does that learning show in their experiences? Does it show up in their everyday life? Are they able to use it where it's needed? That's what I mean when I say that we have to undo with everything that we know about ourselves, and it's a painful process, and sometimes we forget it, and that is why walking on faith is so painful and miserable, because it's like you're being ripped apart and made new. And even though in your conscious mind, very objectively and very rationally, you can have a strong conviction about your decision to walk on this path. You can be strongly you can have a strong resolve to transform yourself and to uplift yourself, but you cannot foresee the nitty-gritties of the process. You cannot foresee the pain that you would be going through. You can't foresee that. So that's why when the pain shows up, when the confusion, frustration, and the depression shows up, you become very confused because you feel like this is not something that you had signed up for. But this is my attempt to validate your journey so far, to validate your soul's resolve so far. You have been extremely uh, honest with yourself. You have what it takes to walk this path. And if you believe in yourself, you also have to believe in your miseries. You also have to believe in your weaknesses. We cannot sprout unless and until it's dark enough around us, until and unless we're isolated enough, unless and until you give your mind and your soul that distance and that good amount of journey. And that cannot happen if you resist the path itself, the pace of the path itself, uh, the plan it has for you. And I know not very it's not very comforting to hear that having faith is supposed to keep you miserable, but I'm here to only tell you that you are doing everything that is good for you. You're doing everything which is needed. All you have to do is that when you are in the thick of it, to have the same amount of courage as you have on the day one that you make the resolve. So if you are in the thick of it, and if you see the thick of it kind of keeping you demotivated, tell yourself this is a thing about this is success in a way. If you are miserable, your path has begun to work for you. That's what you can tell yourself. It might not be very comforting, but when has comfort ever made a great story, right? Thank you for parting with your time so far, and let's meet on another video.